This video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and while supplies last, if you mention Saffron Olive in your order notes, we'll hook you up with a free Saffron Olive sticker with any Card Kingdom order. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition, our first Throne of Eldraine edition, a very special edition of Against the Odds. So, as you might have figured out already, we are playing Happily Ever After this week. I mean, as soon as I saw that card, I knew that was going to be the first Against the Odds episode. I haven't hidden it too much because it's just like the perfect Against the Odds card. Alt-win conditions is what the series has been about since it started, and it is a sweet one, and I am super excited to see just how practical it actually is to live happily ever after in Throne of Eldraine Standard. So, gonna do a quick deck, talk about the deck's working, jump right into the gameplay, see it in practice. So before we do, a quick reminder, if you haven't already, it would be sweet of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Happily Ever After. Starting with the card is Help. Happily Ever After. So 3 mana. When it comes into play, each player gains 5 life and draws a card. Then, at the beginning of our upkeep, if we have 5 colors among the permanents we control, 6 or more card types among our permanents or our graveyard, and our life total is at least our starting life total, we win the game. So obviously, that's a lot of text. It sounds very tricky and very hard to win with Happily Ever After. You're like, 5 colors of permanents, 6 card types. It just kind of overwhelms your brain. But really, it's not that hard. It's actually super easy to win with Happily Ever After. So when I first saw Happily Ever After, my first instinct was to play Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Niv-Mizzet Reborn, probably the premier 5-color creature in Standard, so it gives you all 5 colors of permanents by itself, plus it draws you lots of cards, so you can find your card types. However, after trying to build the Niv-Mizzet version of Happily Ever After is Plane-Wide Celebration. Plane-Wide Celebration, it might not be obvious at first glance, but it is like the perfect card for Happily Ever After. When you cast Plane-Wide Celebration, it's like a 7-mana command almost, where you get all these options. You get to choose 4, you can choose the same one more than once. You make a 2/2 citizen creature token that is all colors. So that 2/2 is the same as Niv-Mizzet. It's all 5 colors of permanents all by itself. We can return a permanent from our graveyard to our hand, whatever, proliferate, whatever. We can also gain 4 life. So when we cast Plane-Wide Celebration, we can gain up to 16 life, technically, if we don't have to make any tokens, to make sure we got enough life to win. We can make creatures that are all colors, even a whole bunch of them, up to 4 of them if we already got enough life, and it's a sorcery to get in our graveyard, which gets us really close to having enough permanent types, because Happily Ever After is an enchantment. We'll have a land on the battlefield. Plane-Wide Celebration will be a sorcery. We'll have a creature token from the citizen, so that means we only need 2 more card types. So that is the main combo of this deck. It's actually the only way we have of winning with Happily Ever After, Plane-Wide Celebration. To support the plan and make it even better, we got a couple of Planeswalkers. So these cards do 2 things. First, remember we need 6 card types. We talked about sorcery and Plane-Wide Celebration. Happily Ever After, enchantment, lands, those are a given, creature tokens. Planeswalker is another one to add to our list. Teferi Time Raveler is kind of the third piece of our combo. What we really want to do with this deck, because Happily Ever After triggers on our upkeep, is have a Happily Ever After sitting on the battlefield, have a Teferi on the battlefield to tick up, and then on our opponent's end step, cast Plane-Wide Celebration to make our all-color creature and gain enough life to win with Happily Ever After, and because Teferi makes it so our opponent can only cast spells as sorceries, our opponent can't interact with that. They can't counter it, they can't kill our token. If we can do it on our end step by casting Plane-Wide Celebration with Flash, we just win on our upkeep and our opponent can't do anything. Our second Planeswalker is Tamiyo, and Tamiyo is insane with Plane-Wide Celebration. It basically loops, because Plane-Wide Celebration can get back permanents from a graveyard to our hand. Tamiyo can get back any card, so we can sometimes get a ton of mana on the battlefield and like use Tamiyo to get back a Plane-Wide Celebration. Plane-Wide Celebration can make some tokens, gain some life, get back a Tamiyo once it dies. Tamiyo gets back Plane-Wide Celebration, then we make more tokens, gain more life. So we can go from not doing much to looping Plane-Wide Celebration almost every single turn. Just make a huge board, gain a bunch of life, eventually win with Happily Ever After. So that's the main core of the deck. Of course, for this to work, we need mana. We need lots of mana because Plane-Wide Celebration costs 7 mana. So for this, we have Risen Reef, Leafkin Druid. Risen Reef draws us to find our pieces and ramps us by putting lands into play. Leafkin Druid, worse than Paradise Druid, basically, except it's an elemental, so it triggers Risen Reef, plus it can sometimes add 2 mana. Paradise Druid, little extra ramp. So these cards help make sure we actually get to our Plane-Wide Celebration in time. Otherwise, The one kind of concession to making Happily Ever After work is with our removal, just a little bit. So for our main removal spell, we have Glass Casket, which is an artifact, which is a card type that we haven't talked about yet. That is card type number 6. And then our other removal spell is Warrant Warden, which is actually pretty cute with Happily Ever After because it is an instant and a sorcery in our graveyard. So that's another way we can up our card type. So that means we have artifact, instant, enchantment, land, planeswalker, sorcery, and creature in our deck, which is 7 card types. We only need 6 of them, and I think it just basically happens incidentally. Like, as we play our deck, cast our Planewide Celebrations, cast our Planeswalkers, by the time we're ready to win, we should have all 6 card types just kind of by accident. We also have Hydroid Crosses, just a big card draw spell that actually works surprisingly well with Happily Ever After. Not only is it a creature, not only does it draw us cards to find our combo pieces, but it gains us life to help make sure that our life total is at our starting life total or more to win with Happily Ever After. So another really nice addition to the deck, and that's basically the plan of the deck. Ramp, 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 hopefully instant speed Planewide Celebration with Happily Ever After on the battlefield, win the game on our upkeep. Mana base wise, bunch of shock lands, Fabled Passage, some basic lands, couple of castles for value in the sideboard, Veil of Summer, Dovin's Veto, protect our combo from discard, from counter spells, just very good in the controlling style of matchups. Then for more aggro matchups, Deputy of Attention, Time Wipe for removal, Night of Autumn, also really good with our deck because it can gain us 4 life to stay up above our life total, get rid of an artifact or enchantment, a Tristani to just kind of gum up the board against aggro, and remember we got all that early game ramp, so Tristani can come down like turn 4 against mono red or something. Couple of mass manipulations if we run into like Super Friends, really good in that matchup, and that's Happily After. No nibs, nothing like that. We are just ramping into Planewide Celebration and trusting that Planewide Celebration is basically a 2-card combo with Happily Ever After. That is the theory of this deck. So let's get to the gameplay, see if that theory actually works in practice. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon. All right, against the odds time, we are looking to win with Happily Ever After, Bantily Ever After, and yeah, all right, we'll keep this. This is a fine hand. We got our Planewide Celebration. We got Teferi. Yeah, let's just Temple Garden tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Alright, some sort of control deck. There's a Thought Erasure. Alright. It looks like control. Takes Teferi. Yeah, we would have liked that one. Opponent mills another Dismal Backwater. Passes. We draw more lands. Well, play Hallowed Fountain. Pass the turn. Yeah, this hand gets a lot worse without Teferi. Opponent has Narset. Like incredibly worse. Grabs a something. Drown in the Lock. Well, we will play a Fabled Passage. More lands, more Planewide Celebrations. Our deck really wants to hit some ramp. That's one thing we've learned. Ramp is important to our deck's plan. Another Narset activation for our opponent. Gets another Thought Erasure. Well, our hand is pretty much dead anyway, so not super helpful. But we'll see. Maybe these castle tokens will do something. Opponent takes Planewide Celebration, mills a land. Passing. Well, crack this, then the deck. This is where our deck is sad, because odds of us drawing a bunch of random mana dorks and dead cards against control are pretty high. More land. I'll play the castle, pass the turn. At least we can start making castle tokens. I guess that's our plan. We're actually banned tokens. Opponent opts. We're actually banned tokens. Put Castle Ardenvale to the test here. Opponent opts and opts. Yup. Untaps. Plays a swamp. Passing. Well, make a token. We will probably do this every turn for the rest of the game. Go to combat. Attack Narset. Wow. Alright. Murderous Rider. Alright, well, make a Sphinx. Play a land. Pass the turn. Opponent can drown in the Locket, though. Narset, number 2.
Mind and body should move and move. Hone your prowess.
Gets another drown in the lock. Kills our Sphinx. Play the Plains, Plain-wide Celebration. Okay. So, get back a permanent. 2/2, 2/2, 2/2. Get back to Fairy. Pass the turn. Island for our opponent. And they got the Sweeper. Ritual of Zut. Takes down Narset.
Before action.
Gets a Thought Erasure. Pass. Oh my god, the lands.
Trust me. You'll thank me later.
Well, play Temple Garden. Take up to Fairy. Pass
Here
the
we
turn.
go.
The flood is as real could be. Good god. Opponent. Kefnet. Sure. That's not great for us. Thought Erasure. Takes our Leafkin Druid. Well, make a 1/1. Opponent leaves a card on top. We draw. Hey, look at that, another land. Bounce Kefnet.
I'll protect you.
Go to combat. Kill Narset.
I have reached my limit.
Play Hallowed Fountain. Holy motherland. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 lands out of 16 cards. I think that's the equivalent of like a Swans deck, like a 42 land deck is how we're running at the moment. That is not a plan that leads to victories, I don't think. Well, make a token. Well, Crosses is as good as it gets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Crosses for 8. Draw some cards. Don't encounter it, but we still get to draw the cards. Opponent opts. Well, we should start drawing non-lands. Alright. I'll go attacking. Hit our opponent. There's an island. Yeah, these... I think this should hopefully get a little better after sideboarding. Currently, we got a lot of cards that are not particularly good against hardcore control. Alright, kills the Crosses. And Kefnet. Well, let's look at our graveyard real quick. Teferi, Crosses. Alright, Plain-wide Celebration. Permanent, Citizen. Get back Crosses. Get back to Teferi. Play Teferi.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
Bounce Kefnet.
This might be a bad idea.
We also have not hit Happily Ever After. Tapped. Go attacking. I mean, maybe this flat out is going to work. Like, I guess once you flat out and hit a Crosses, things get a lot better. Opponent. Drawn from Dreams. Going dig in. Gets a couple cards. Kefnet returns. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. Alright. Well, I guess we Crosses for 10. Draw some cards. Play a Forest. Take up to Teferi.
I've got time.
No attacks. Discard Paradise Druid. Actually, I guess we just discard 2 Glass Caskets. They do not seem to be doing anything. Opponent plays a land. Gains a life. Ritual Set. Sweeps the board. That's annoying. Gets in. Hits to Teferi.
Only time will tell.
Well, play Teferi. Opponent has another counter. I'll play Teferi.
I know my responsibility.
Bounce Kefnet.
Here we go.
Play a Forest. Play Risen Reef. Play Tameo.
The moon looks
Tameo.
intriguing tonight.
Get back Planewide Celebration.
I have learned
Pass
much
the turn.
from my ancestors.
This has been a grind. I feel like we're maybe getting close to the kill.
I
Opponent
question
takes
this
down
outcome.
our Tameo. Kefnet. Passes. Well, take up Teferi.
Don't worry. I got this.
This gives us the kill, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. I'll play Risen Reef. Draw a card, draw a card. Breeding Pool. Play. Happily Ever After. Pass the turn. I mean, this should give us the kill. Opponent untaps, draws. Goes to combat. Hits Teferi. Alright, I guess we gotta do this now. Citizen, permanent. Get back to Teferi. Get back Crosses. Teferi down. So now our opponent has to kill the citizens, or they lose. Gotta kill them both. Opponent passes! And dead! And we got there! Against a control deck with 1,000,000 dead cards and flooding out! Okay. That is what the deck has tried to do. It wasn't as clean and pretty as we wanted, but it did work. And now, life gets better. Now we get to bring in Veil of Summers, Dovin's Vetoes, go down Glass Casket. Oh my god, that was bad. Go down Warrants, and maybe bring in Mass Manipulations. I think something like that. All right, run it like that. Whew. Well, game 1 win with Happily Ever After. Little clunky along the way, but mission achieved. I mean, that's the plan. Teferi, uptick, end of our opponent's turn, ideally. Be able to cast Planewide Celebration to get the Happily Ever After kill. That is the goal. All right, on to game 2. We are on the draw this game. And, all right, we got a nice little Rampan and a Happily Ever After. Temple Garden, go. Opponent duresses. Well, it takes our 1 non-creature. Island. Alright. Well, Breeding Pool. Paradise Druid. Pass the turn. Opponent discoveries. Jeez. In the perfect world, this Risen Reef lives and we get to double Leafkin Druid, and I mean, it's probably not the perfect world, but that's what we're hoping for. I do like Veil of Summer very much. Hallowed Found untapped Risen Reef. Get a land. So this doesn't save us from like Ritual of Soot, but it does save from targeted removal. And if we get to untap and double Leafkin to get Risen Reef triggers, that's pretty good. Kefnet. That's a little frightening. Alright, opponent passes. I'll play Risen Reef. Get some triggers. We are going to draw many cards. Alright, well I guess we just have to do this, play this. I would love to just get a million Risen Reef
Let's
triggers,
slow
but
this
I don't
down.
think we can let our opponent untap with
I am not
Kefnet.
making this up as I go.
Go attacking. Opponent to 19. No Wrath, no Wrath. They might feel like they have to deal with Teferi now. Alright, there's the Wrath. Opponent passes. Well, take up Teferi.
Let's try
Play Leafkin Druid. Hallowed Fountain. Pass the turn. Opponent. Disinformation Campaign. Alright, we'll just discard an island. Opponent draws a card, trying to hit their lands. And passes. Plain White Celebration would be pretty sweet. Opponent duresses. Well, we might as well Veil of Summer now. Castle Vantress is not bad. That's going to help us find action. Ooh, and Happily Ever After. Oh, play Happily Ever After. Take up Teferi.
Oh,
Castle
I've done the
Vantress.
hero thing before.
Pass the turn. All right, things are shaping up a bit. Castle Vantress, that's super, super big here. Opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Narset. Okay.
There are so many.
Well, that
mysteries
increases our odds of
uncovered.
Teferi living. Opponent
Keep
takes
an open
down.
mind.
Discovery. Yep. And no land still. Well, let's scry. Oh, there's a Narset. Bottom. We can't really cross this with Narset out. We hit a Veil of Summer. Well, take up Teferi.
I've got
Play
it.
Fabled Passage. Play Leafkin Druid. No attacks past the turn. Opponent hits a land untapped. Okay. Surveils, draws, picks up Disinformation Campaign. Do we even want to cast this? I mean, I guess it gives protection. All right, yeah. Oh dear. I guess we should have casted it earlier. Okay. Grab a plains. Yeah, I guess that was probably a mistake. Dovin's Veto goes away. Yeah, we should have cast that earlier. Narset ticking
I
down.
have just the trick for this.
Gets a drown in the lock. Well, let's go scrying. There's Plain White Celebration. That is a card we are looking for very desperately. Opponent discards. We draw Plain White Celebration. We take up Teferi. We pass the turn. And we might have the win. It depends on what our opponent has here. Noxious Grasp going after Teferi. Well, Plain White Celebration. Gain 4 life. Citizen. We're just going for it. We're going for the combo kill. All right, opponent, can you kill all 3 citizens? We would have rather done an end step. We'll see. We're at 23. Conditions have been met. Opponent surveils. Oh, we got him. Woo! Yes. Taking out the control deck. Bantily Ever After. I don't see how our opponent can answer. Oh, I guess Legion then does it, but oh, please not that. Yes. An opponent has been happily ever aftered, and that went beautifully. Whew. Okay. Well, I mean, that is what the deck is trying to do. That is the plan of the deck, and it worked there pretty amazingly. Wrap it up. Plain White Celebration. Make the dorks. GG. Sweet. All right. Against the odds time, we are looking to live happily ever after, bantily ever after, In Standard. Throne of Eldraine Standard, that is. And, alright. We got some Planeswalkers, got some ramp. Let's see. Breeding Pool, tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Against aggro decks, the 5 life from Happily Ever After is kind of nice. Alright, looks like is it of some kind. Well, play an island, Paradise Druid. Pass the turn. Opponent. I guess it could be like Jeskai Super Friends. Tap land. Yeah, let's just Hallowed Fountain to Fairy.
I'm known
Take up
for
to
my
Fairy.
excellent timing. That's more
No
like
attacks. Okay, definitely Jeskai Super Friends. Opponent has a Chandra, triggers.
You and I are gonna take him out. What's that smell?
It's a land.
Oh, it's you burning.
I'll take up to Fairy.
I'll protect you.
Play Fabled Passage. And yeah, I guess we just have to pass and use this Warrant Warden, I think. Bone it. Island. Takes up
Sit back and
Chandra.
watch it burn.
Oh, thankfully a mana short from Big Mama Chandra. That would be not ideal. There is a Sarkhan. Yep.
You will feel the lick of my flames.
Opponent turns on Chandra, goes to combat. Attacks. Alright, so I think we just crack Fabled Passage. Grab a Plains. Make a Sphinx. Kill Chandra. Take up to Fairy.
Trust me. I have a
Castle
plan.
Ardenvale. Play Tameo.
I would like to
Tameo.
test a new hypothesis.
Get back
with you.
Warrant Warden.
I follow the tracks of the wise.
No attacks past the turn. Opponent. Island. Turns on Sarkhan.
Skies.
Goes attacking. Sure. Heads are to Fairy.
Hey, that was uncalled for.
Chandra's
This
Triumph
is
takes
hardly
down
my
to
worst
Fairy.
defeat.
Well, tick up Tameo.
Let me aid your research.
Name Risen Reef, I think. Whiff. Play Risen Reef. Get a land. Play Breeding Pool. Hit Sarkhan.
Listen to them roar!
Pass the
You think you're a warrior?
opponent.
They are
Turns on
coming.
Sarkhan. Well, and now we gotta do this, unfortunately. Put it on top. Pick him up. Opponent. We're actually not that far away from getting the combo kill. Deafening Clarion sweeps the board. Land for our opponent. Well, let's Plane-Wide Celebration. One, two, 1, 2. All right. Permanent, permanent, permanent token. Crossus, Happily Ever After, Risen Reef. Take down Tamiyo. Get back Plain White Celebration.
No
Pass
tail
the
should
turn.
be discarded.
Tamiyo Plain White is a pretty sweet value loop once we get enough mana. Like, that is pretty good. Opponent gets a Sarkin.
What know you of dragon? Behold!
Makes a dragon. Well, play Teferi.
Right on schedule.
Bounce the dragon.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Play the forest. Go to combat. Kill Sarkin. And I mean, I think we go for it. We go for it. Happily Ever After. Conditions are met, I believe. Pass the turn. Yeah, conditions are met. What do you say, opponent? You gotta kill the token. Narsat, that doesn't kill a token. Ooh, did we get him?
Prepare.
It's a, oh, all right. So Teferi lets our opponent live temporarily. Yep.
I am not.
So opponent
gonna
remains
sit this
alive. Bounces the
Here we
token. We untap. Well, we take up Teferi.
one. I've got time.
How do we want to do this? Yeah, that Teferi was clutch for our opponent. Well, Plain White Celebration. Life, permanent citizen. Get back Tamiyo. Play a breeding pool tapped. Pass the turn. This gives us enough life that we're still over 20 if our opponent plays this Arcan and hits us for 8. We're almost to being able to loop Tamiyo with Plain White Celebration every turn. These Planeswalkers are annoying, though, and hard to deal with. Opponent knows they're right on the edge. Like, they are right on the edge of this game, of being happily ever after. The story tale coming to an end, the fairy tale. All right, there's this Arcan.
I fight with a dragon's rage!
Ticks up.
This might be a bad idea.
I will call the dragons.
Dragons. Teferi. Face.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Overwhelming.
And then they have a removal spell. If they don't have a removal spell, we got them. Oh! Happily ever after. Whoo! Whoo! That was a good one. Oh, that's exactly what we wanted to play around. Staying above 20 even if our opponent had Sarkin, and it worked to perfection. Well, opponent's playing Planeswalker Central over there. Jeskai, Super Freds. Mass Manipulations, definitely in. Dovin's Vetoes, also definitely in. Glass Caskets, I think we gotta go down. Warrant Warden, not the worst, but not good. Go down Warrant Warden, and... do we want to change anything else? I guess maybe Deputy Detention's fine. Veil of Summer seems hit or miss. All right. Yeah, go down Warrant Wardens. Try it like that. Well, we got the win in game one pretty convincingly, actually. That was actually kind of impressive. Our opponent, that wasn't a game where our opponent had like a horrible draw or something. Their draw was pretty much what they wanted to do. They had multiple Sarkins and multiple Planeswalker attacks, and we were still able to just... force them to live happily ever after. We had a Plain White Celebration, and everyone lived happily ever after. I wonder if our opponent feels that way. If they're happy, living happily ever after over there, after getting jacked out. All right. You can see it going through people's mind. They're like, oh man, that's all colors. Oh man, they're 20, 27 life. Oh, I don't have a removal spell and kill that. Oh my god. Oh my god. I scoop it up. You can see, like, with how the mouse moves around and different things are highlighted, you can see what's going through your opponent's head a little bit. Alright, on to game 2. We're on the draw. I feel like our deck definitely improves after sideboarding. We have to get rid of cards that are pretty dead for cards that are pretty live. Yeah, alright. We got a veto. Boy, plain white celebrations for days. Breeding pool. Tapped. Opponent, tap land. Now plains go. If this is Teferi, Narset. Yeah, alright. I think that's good enough to counter. Counter Narset. Untap. Hallowed Fountain. Teferi.
I know
Take it up,
my
take it up.
responsibility. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Opponent, untapped. Chandra?
I knew you needed it. No problem. Fire.
It's a land. Well, play happily ever after. Gain some life. Play Temple Garden. Take it up to Berry.
Let's
Pass
try
the
this.
turn. Sarkhan here is kind of bad for us. Plain white celebration. Our main removal for planeswalkers is countering them.
This
Takes
is gonna
up.
be
Deafening
bad for you.
Clarion. That doesn't do much. Chandra's Triumph.
Time
That's
to
Teferi to
plan
one.
it up.
as soon as I think of one.
And? Alright,
It's
just a
only
bunch of
matter
bird
of
spells.
time.
Well, that's better than a Sarkhan. Oh, and there's our veto. That is also good. Let's see. Play Fabled Passage. Play Happily Ever After. Another veto that I like. Okay. Well, 2 vetoes is nice. 2 vetoes means we can counter any Sarkhans our opponent has. And hopefully eventually we ramp into these plain-wide celebrations. We got the Happily Ever After. We're not that far away from winning. Opponent gets a land.
Oh, it's you burning.
And we're at a high enough life total that Chandra Ultimate isn't actually that frightening. Dugan. Well, that cannot stand. Crack. Island. Untap. Veto. Yeah, there's Risen Reef. Alright. Play Risen Reef. Trigger. We're actually getting oddly close. Play Castle past the turn. Opponent.
No
Taking up
problem.
Chandra.
Fire can't solve.
Veto. Land. Ooh. That's actually really unfortunate. Okay. Opponent hits a Sarkhan with the Tovin veto off the Chandra so we can't counter it. That is unfortunate. Opponent makes a
Come
drink.
to me.
Ugh. Alright, I think we gotta counter that. Now we're actually in kind of bad shape. We draw a land, play the land. Play Teferi.
I can no longer stand by
Bounce
and
the
watch.
dragon.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Go to combat, hit Sarkhan.
I will strike like you mean it.
Ugh. Play Tameo.
Let us
Take
have
up
a storied
Tameo.
battle worth the seek and find.
For Crosses. Whiff like crazy, pass the turn. Whoo, I don't know, these Planeswalkers, that Sarkhan. Man, that Sarkhan with the veto off the Chandra is insane. Opponent, Ultimate Chandra. Kills our Tabio.
We're
This
done here.
study is over.
This is just gonna be bad for you.
Gets a million cards. Plays Kazmina, gains a life,
War is coming.
loots.
I can focus on what matters.
Yeah, I think this has slipped away. That one turn where our opponent taked up Chandra and hit a Dovin's veto, which is usually what you absolutely don't want to hit with Chandra, but it worked out perfectly for our opponent that turn somehow. Like, better than you could imagine. Opponent plays a land. Everything becomes
power.
animated. We get hit.
This is a waste
now
of my
what?
time.
And shocks our Risen Reef. Is there any way out from this? Plane-wide celebration. So we're taking 12, 13, 14. You know what? We're gonna go for it. Our one chance, I think, is just yanking them out. Play the land, pass the turn. All right, opponent, go for it. Can you kill the citizen, or do you... Oh, opponent.
You show remorse.
Yeah, that does it.
I'll protect you.
Well,
Hone your control.
things went wrong on that. Oh, man. We were still close to jaking them out. Things went wrong on that turn where our opponent hit that Dovin's veto. Ay, 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 ay. Ugh. That was unfortunate. Would have been a good game to hit a mass manipulation. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Wow. All right. Well, we get to play first here in game number 3, which is good. And I imagine our opponent won't hit that veto again. That's kind of a 1 in a million thing. We play first. Yeah, we're going to mulligan that. We can't keep that. Oh, magic gods. Come on now. No, all right. Mulligan to Oblivion. Yeah, that's bad. Well, we will keep our nice little 5-card hand here. We'll put a Fabled Passage and a Leafkin Druid to the bottom. Fabled Passage, go. Yikes. Not good, not good. We had all of our expensive cards in hand this match. Opponent plays a Scryland. Well, we will crack our Fabled Passage. Grab an island. Opponent gets to scry. Yeah, 5 cards, not many on the play, for sure. Opponent scries to the bottom. Well, Hollowed Fountain, tap, pass the turn. Opponent. Untap land. Well, Breeding Pool, untapped, Risen Reef. Into a Crosses. Opponent untaps. Interplanar Beacon. And Saheeli. Alright.
My creations are things of beauty.
Play Fabled Passage. Crack Fabled Passage. Take a island. Tameo. Take up Tameo.
Let us see if your talents are worth to the library.
For Risen Reef. With. It's Saheeli.
Do not mistake
Pass the
grace
turn.
for weakness.
Oh, the Saheeli is scary. The 1/1s are going to be pretty obnoxious. Opponent. Untap land. Chandra makes a dork. Yeah, the Planeswalkers are starting to add up. And the tokens.
I'm the best fire starter
Opponent
there
takes
is.
up
Let's
Chandra.
light it up.
Teferi goes away. Opponent passes. Well, unfortunately, we got to get a land. We can't not get a land here.
The storied past holds our future.
Play Fabled Passage. Crack Fabled Passage. Grab a Plains. Play Happily Ever After. Pass the turn. No attacks. Yeah, we'll see. Not feeling super good about where we're at now. Opponent's just stacking up them Planeswalkers. Takes
Sit
up
back
Chandra.
and watch it burn.
Gets a Chandra's Triumph. Untap land. Kills our Tammy. Yeah, that's not good
All
either.
stories
This
must
is just gonna be
end.
bad for you.
And opponent gets in for 1, no block. Narset makes a token. Well, we gotta counter Narset. Opponent passes. Well, play Breeding Pool untapped. Crosses for 4. Draw a couple cards. No attacks. If they have Sarkin, though, this is super bad. Tigs up, Scryland.
Oh, it's you burning.
Plays the Scryland to the top. That's discouraging. There's Sarkin. That's what we were hoping to not see.
We begin.
Opponent. Takes a dragon.
Magnificent.
Do I have
Okay.
your attention now?
Dragon. We take our beats, 18. We draw Forest. Play Risen Reef, get a couple triggers. Play Breeding Pool, untapped. Attack Sarkin.
Come on.
Opponent blocks. Well, we still get rid of Sarkin, thankfully. Warrant. Get rid of the dragon. Trample over, kill Sorin. So we're staying alive
dragon
in.
would rather
The
die
Chandra
than
still goes
lose.
ultimate, which is concerning. And our opponent has a bunch of servos, also concerning.
There's no problem.
Takes up
Quiet
Chandra, hits a
control.
land. Okay. Oh, maybe Crosses can deal with the Chandra. No, we're definitely countering that. Okay, we're staying in it. We're staying in it. Opponent passes. Oh, go to combat. Hit Chandra.
Hey, watch it.
Leafkin Druid, get some triggers. Oh, come on, give us some action. Okay, Tameo works. Play a Forest. Play Tameo.
Dueling you will
Take
be
down
excellent
Tameo.
research.
For a veto.
The past
Pass the
is
turn.
never forgotten.
All right, we're alive. We're alive. Opponent takes up
Sit back and
Chandra.
watch it burn.
Hits another land. Is there a chance? Is there a chance that this is going to end happily ever after? We're about to find out. Opponent. Teferi Time Raveler. That resolves. Actually, no, we have to counter that. Because that shuts down our Dovin's veto anyway. Opponent. Big attack at Tameo. Yep, no blocks.
I have learned all I can here.
Deafening Clarion. Interesting. Can they also kill Crosses? They can't. So we go to combat. We hit Saheeli. Kill Saheeli.
I'm sorry, but I must tend to my creations.
Fabled Passage. Crack Fabled Passage. Get a Plains. Plane-wide Celebration. Life, Citizen, Permanent. Get back Crosses. Up to 20. Pass the turn. Oh man, do they have the answer? Do they have the answer? Opponent takes up. It's a Narset. Narset could find an answer potentially. Narset.
I have brought
Opponent has
home
5
your
mana
prowess.
left. Takes down. Veto. Veto isn't the answer. We're at 20. Conditions are met. Narset. Desperation. Desperation. Oh, they're looking so hard. Can they kill the Citizen? Takes down. Is it a removal spell for the Citizen? It is not. And we live happily ever after against Jeskai Super Friends. And this deck kind of works. It kind of really actually works. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Whew. Sweet, sweet. All right. Against the odds time, we are trying to live happily ever after in Standard. And, that sounds okay. Tameo's fine. We got a removal spell. Don't have any ramp, which is a little bit sad, but we'll see. Opponent, thinking things over, apparently. And Breeding Pool tap. Pass the turn. Opponent. Fabled Passage. Alright. Ramp is not the worst. Leafkin. This at least gets us to Tamiyo next turn, theoretically. Okay, once upon a time. Well, we'll see. The story's on both ends in this matchup. Opponents on Once Upon a Time. We're trying to live happily ever after. Which side of the story works? Opponent. Swamp. Paradise Druid. Play it for us. Play Tamiyo.
Let us have a storied
Take 'em.
battle worth read. I know I noted this somewhere.
I guess we just go Risen Reef. Ooh, and we get a Risen Reef. Not bad, not bad. All right, opponent, what you got? So opponent's playing some sort of Abzan. Questing Beast. Yeah, that is obnoxious. Gets it. Hits us. Yeah, removal's not very good at hitting Questing Beasts. Down to 16.
No one
It's our
asked for
Tamiyo.
your input.
I'll take up Tamiyo.
Seek and
Name Plane-wide Celebration. With. Play Risen Reef. Get a trigger. Hallowed Fountain, untapped, Glass Casket. Get rid of Paradise Druid. Opponent gets and kills our Tamiyo. Yeah, Questing Beast is pretty good.
I will not stand for such violence.
Midnight Reaper for our opponent passes. Now, play Breeding Pool, untapped, crosses, X4. Draw a couple cards. No attacks. We need this to stick to block Questing Beast. Opponent gets in. Yeah, sadly, I think we gotta make this trade. Opponent gets to draw, drops to 17. Tithe Taker. And Temple Garden untapped, and Tithe Taker. Now, Castle Ardenvale. Plane-wide Celebration. Permanent, Citizen Life. Get back Crossus and Tamiyo. No attacks. Ugh. More Questing Beasts. Well, we're gonna trade with this Midnight Reaper. Get it out of here. We dropped to 6. Ugh. Questing Beast. Brutal. Opponent draws a card. Tap land. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, all right. Play a land. Crosses for 6. Draw some cards. No attacks. Discard a Temple Garden. Ooh, I don't know. These Questing Beasts, if our opponent has removal. Oh, if this is Garrick. Looks like they have removal. Murderous Rider. Opponent gets in. Alright, to 1. Not great. Another Tithe Taker. We draw more lands. Well, we will happily ever after. Gain some life. More lands. Fabled Passage. Crack it. Ooh, I don't know if we can get out of this. Grab a Plains. Ugh, I'm not seeing a pathway out because, man, these Questing Beasts are so good. We can't block it. We can't deal with it. So I guess what we have to do is play Tamiyo. Tick it up and try to hit Warren Warden.
It isn't to the library.
Come on. Alright. We whiff and we're dead. Questing Beasts! Well, that was a little rougher. Opponent just had so many Questing Beasts. So, opponent's playing Questing Beast Tribal. We can bring in... How do we interact with Questing Beasts? We can bring in Deputy and Time Wipes, I guess. Sadly, Glass Casket while a good removal spell, not the best removal spell at hitting Questing Beast in specific. So Time Wipes in, Deputy of Attention, I guess, in, go down, I guess like a Paradise Druid, try it like that. Ugh. Alright, we are on the play for game number 2, and, okay, we'll keep, mana's slightly very clunky, no dual lands, but we gotta try it. Fabled Passage, go. Opponent. Tap land, well, crack this. Snag a forest. Yeah, that's not bad. Play the land, play Leafkin Druid. Sadly, this is a scenario where our castle's actually going to be obnoxious. Opponent, Temple Garden, and Noxious Grasp. Oh, very obnoxious. All right, pass the turn. Oh, missing a potential Risen Reef. Opponent, Temple Garden, runs out a Knight of Autumn. Well, play Teferi. If we get Questing Beast in, I'm going to be so sad. Land. All right, we hit a land. Play the land. Opponent. Oh, that's going to happen. Rankle. That's also bad. Opponent has a lot of stuff that just happens to dodge Glass Casket. Maybe Glass Casket is not very good. I mean, it's good in some matchups, but maybe it's not good enough. Everyone discards. We draw land. Well, take up Teferi.
I've got it.
Play Risen Reef. Get a trigger. Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. Pass the turn. What you got, opponent? What you got? Ugh. That's actually super annoying. There goes our Warden plan. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Opponent gets in. Okay. We'll discard Happily Ever After. We'll sacrifice Risen Reef. And then put Rankle on top. Untap, Temple Garden, untapped, crosses for 4. Draw a couple cards, gain a bit of life. What you got, opponent? Noxious Grass, okay. Gets it, hits us. Play a Plains, crosses for 5. Draw a couple cards, gain a couple life. Well, this hasn't been Happily Ever After, but our crosses are keeping us in this. Midnight Reaper. Opponent passes. Well, play Teferi.
Trust
Bounce Midnight
thank me
Reaper.
later. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Play Risen Reef. Fabled Pass. Opponent, done. Okay. Well, we didn't get the Happily Ever After win, but we did avoid getting crushed by Questing Beast like happened in game 1. That is more like what we're hoping for. Man, Rankle and Questing Beast, those are some scary threats. Especially in a deck looking to use Glass Casket as its main removal. Warren does help. That does help a little bit at least. Well, we're going to be on the draw for game number 3. Very paranoid about turn 3 Rankle or Questing Beast. Really, really strong. Really strong. But we'll take the win. Apparently just casting Craw, it's still good. Even in Throne of Eldraine Standard. Who would have thought? I think that's one of our rare non... it's hard to imagine this deck winning without winning with Happily Ever After very often. That's what I was trying to say. All right, on to game 3. On the draw in game 3. Well, okay. This is not a super exciting hand, but Warrant Warden does deal with one of our opponent's hasty threats. Hallowed Fountain, go. Temporarily, at least. Opponent. Tap land. Hallowed Fountain, go. Plains for our opponent. Midnight Reaper. Island, go. Tap land. Midnight Reaper Part 2. Opponent attacks. Well, alright. You go on top. Fabled Passage. Crack it. Snag a Forest. And Leafkin. Pass the turn. Forest for our opponent. Do they have something big and scary? Yeah, pretty much. Questing Beast. Opponent gets in. No blocks. Down to 13. Well, Fabled Passage. Crack it. Grab a Forest. Crosses X4. Yeah, see what happens. Alright, Warren and Happily Ever After. That's some life gain. Throws Stani to pump the dorks. Goes attacking. I guess we gotta kill Midnight Reaper. Drop to 10. Take our beats. Opponent drops to 19. Alright, so let's play Leafkin Druid. Happily Ever After. Fabled Passage. Pass the turn. I don't know if we're going to be able to stabilize here or not. Opponent cast a Lockway. We can slow down the Questing Beast for a turn with Warren Warden. Opponent, big attack, big attack. I guess drawing a Wrath might be helpful eventually. Opponent swings with everything. Well, Fabled Passage. Take a Plains. Warrant Questing Beast. Block a token, take 3. Midnight Reaper. Ooh, Time Wipe. Huh. Plane-wide Celebration. Citizen. Permanent. Life. Okay. Citizen, permanent, life. Citizen, permanent, life. Citizen. Get back crosses. Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. Happily Ever After. Alright, pass the turn. We're up to 19, and we have this Time Wipe. Maybe we're in this. And we found a Tameo to potentially get our loop going. Opponent has a lot of cards in hand, but we're staying alive. We're staying alive so far. Opponent, untap land. All the way down to 31. Questing Beast. Five, 6, 7, 8. All right, block. Drop to 11. Opponent passes. Well, we will. Time Wipe. Pick up a Leaf Kid. Opponent draws a bunch of cards. Tameo.
Every story is an
Get back.
opportunity for new data.
Plane-wide Celebration.
I have learned much
Breeding
from my
Pool, go.
ancestors.
Alright, what do you got, opponent? Are we dead? Murderous Rider takes down our Tameo.
I question this outcome.
Well, what hasty threats are coming? That's the question. Rankle. Opponent gets it. Hits it. Down to 8. Alright, we'll discard Leaf Kid. We draw Warrant Morton. Opponent. Thinking. Tap land. Scries. Okay. To the bottom. I'll play the castle. Plane-wide celebration. Token. Life. Permanent. Get back Tamiyo. Pass the turn. Untap land. Plastic Beast. Well, alright. Rankle on top. Take 4. Down to 11. Opponent passes. Wow, can we go for it? 4, 8, 12. Ugh. I think we just play castle. Crosses for 8. Pass the turn. Man, we are fighting the fight. This is way closer than I would have thought with all these hasty threats. Murderous Rider takes down the crosses. Rankle. Raiders. So we're taking a beating again. Murderous Rider. Yep. Opponent gets it. Hits us down to 8. We go to 7. Opponent draws. Opponent. Tap land. What a grind. Alright, so play Tamiyo. Tamiyo.
I would like to ask about any lunar anomalies you have experienced.
Gets back Time Wipe.
I follow the tracks of the wise.
Hollowed Fountain down to 5. Time Wipe. Leaf Kid. Alright, we will see. If our opponent has 2 hasty threats, we're dead. We could survive 1. We can't survive 2. Next turn, we get to gain a bunch more life again. We gotta dodge more Rankles and Questing Beasts. 2 of those kill us here. 1 of those, we barely survive. Opponent, untap land. Alright. Noxious Grasp. Okay, that does not kill us, though. Why are they Castle Lockwaning? Oh, maybe we do have a shot. Okay. Lockwane. Passes. Well, in that case, we play Teferi.
Let's slow
We tick
this
it up. We pass the
I've got
turn.
time.
No attacks. And now we have instant speed plane-wide celebration. We can't quite win. We don't have enough life, but opponent cracks. Wow, I think we're going to win this. Jeez. All those hasty threats, but we're kind of managing to stay in this. Opponent going to Lockwane again? Yup, Lockwanes. Because now we get to get our loop going, I think. Murderous Rider. Okay, takes down the
Only
fairy.
time will tell.
Paradise Druid, sure. Opponent's passing. So we get to plane-wide celebration. 4-8, life, permanent. Let's just go all life and a permanent. Get back Tamiyo. Go up to 17. And opponent! They are done! Happily Ever After, again, doesn't matter the matchup, it just works. Oh my goodness. Okay. Taking out control, taking out mid-range. Maybe Happily Ever After is just a real deck in Throne of Eldraine Standard. That felt like a hard matchup in game 1, where we just got rankled and Questing Beasted into oblivion, but got there. Again. And I think we would have had the Happily Ever After kill eventually. Like, the Tamiyo plane-wide celebration loop, if that gets going and our opponent can't interact with it when we have this much mana, that is just so much life and value that it's really hard for anyone to keep up with. Sweet. All right. Against the odds time, we are looking to live happily ever After, and we're going to keep this. We're missing white mana, but we have a Risen Reef. We don't have Happily Ever After, but hopefully we draw into it. We have Plain-White Celebration to Fairy, so combo mostly achieved. Temple of Silence. All right, to the top. And that is Happily Ever After. Land, go. What is our opponent on? Oh, they're probably playing the stack, I would guess. Play a Plains. Risen Reef. Get a land. I don't know if I'm super worried about the stack. We'll see. Opponent, Swamp. Maybe it's not the stack. Murderous Rider takes down Risen Reef. Yeah, play to Fairy.
I'm known for my excellent timing. Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Alright, definitely the stack. There's a Guild Globe. Opponent draws a card. Land, untapped. Golden Egg. Opponent passes. How do we want to do this? Play a Forest. Yeah, let's just crosses for 4. Crosses for 4. Draw a couple cards, gain some life. Take up to Fairy.
That's more like it.
Alright, there's the Doom Foretold. We will sack Hydroid Crosses. Play a Temple Garden untapped. Take up to Fairy.
No, I am not making this up
Pass
as I go.
the turn. Opponent gotta sack one of their eggs. This means we get to... We're gonna lose our Teferi, which is a little annoying. But we get to Plain-White Celebration. Opponent plays a Globe. Yep. Draws a card. And a Globe to draw a card. Opponent. Tap land and passing. Well, Plain-White Celebration. Let's look at our graveyard. Is it just ooh, Kron Risen Reef. Alright. So we will, let's see. Permanent, token. Get back both. On tap, we lose our Teferi. Play Risen Reef. Trigger. Risen Reef. Trigger. Hollowed Fountain. Yeah, let's just Leafkin. Trigger. Go attacking. And our opponent. Discard a Warren Warden. Doom for Dole. Opponent's got a sack. Kaya's Wrath sweeps the board. So Doom for Toad's gonna go away. We will discard a Glass Casket. Untap, draw a card. Play Teferi.
Right on schedule.
Bounce the knife.
I've got it.
Play a Plains. Tameo.
Let us see if your
Get back,
talents are worth
Plain-White
cataloging.
Celebration.
I have
Leafkin
learned
Druid.
much from my ancestors.
Pass the turn. What you got, opponent? What you got? Oath of Gaia.
I have learned
Takes
little
down
here.
Tameo. Thought Erasure. I mean, our opponent's fighting the good fight. Wow, takes crosses. Interesting. Fabled Passage. Cracks it. The problem with our opponent taking crosses is this means we get to Plain-White Celebration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. Can we just win? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, Happily Ever After. Fabled Passage. Pick up Teferi.
This
And
might be a
pass
bad
the
idea.
turn. All right, opponent, you need something good. Because combo has been achieved. I think we might have them. We might be living happily ever after. Opponent plays Teferi. All right, this means we have to plane-wide celebration now. Citizen, citizen, permanent, permanent. We will get back Tamio and Crossus. Opponent's got to deal with both tokens.
This isn't a fight you can win.
Or they lose. Land. I guess they can bounce happily ever after just to survive a turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bounces a token.
Trust me.
Okay.
I have a plan.
Draws a card. Murderous Rider. Wait, do they have an answer? No? Oh my god. We got him. We got him. That looks like game to me. Opponent did not have it. Okay. And we live happily ever after. Whoo! Oh, gonna try to stacks us, will ya? Well, we will bring in Dovin's Veto. We will bring in Knight of Autumn. And, Veil of Summer. Go down, Glass Casket, Warrant Warden. And let's bring in 2 Veil of Summers. Run it like that. Well, that went pretty well. Man, this deck kinda works. It has been pretty impressive. Well, alright, we'll keep this. Little land light, but once we get to 3 mana, we can draw some cards. Land go. Land for our opponent. Golden Egg. Well, crack this. Grab an island. And land off the top. Well, alright. Temple Garden untapped. We are going to need a land. Opponent, untapped. Tap land. Oh, come on. Thought erasure us. Thought erasure us. Guild Globe, sure. Land, please. Alright. It's a tap land, but it's a land. That counts. Pass the turn. What you got, opponent? What you got? Another egg. Sure, not gonna counter that. Save our counter for something more meaningful. Untap land. Opponent. Passing. Well, crack this. Grab a plains. Untap. Probably breeding pool. Untapped. Yeah, Teferi could go wrong. Let's wait. Let's wait one more turn. If we play Teferi, we're tapped down and they can Doom Foretold and make us sack Teferi. That doesn't feel great. Ooh, opponent's missing land drops? Ooh, land. Land, land. Happily ever after. Alright. Well, we're all doing nothing. Opponent. Who draws the land first? Looks like our opponent. Opponent passing. Alright, we draw land 2. Land. Untapped. Happily ever after. You get a card too, opponent. You want this. You want this to happen. Alright. Resolves. Everyone draws. And another veto's fine. Pass the turn. Veto's good as long as we can keep Teferi off the battlefield. Teferi coming down would make it less good. And our opponent might have enough land now that they can... Well, alright. We should... Hopefully we're good. Thought Erasure. Sure. I think we have to not do it because this might be trying to clear the way for Teferi. So I think we have to not Veil of Summer as much as we want to. Because Teferi shuts down both of our vetoes. And we have 2 of them. Takes the crosses. Interesting. Interesting choice. We would love to draw one more land. Opponent plays land. And gonna pass. Play Teferi.
I know my responsibility.
Draw a card with Teferi.
Don't worry, I got this.
Pass the turn. Oh, we would have liked to hit a land there, though. Opponent untaps. Another land. Cracks it. Yup. Plains untaps. Doom foretold. Oh, yeah, we'll veto that. Unmoored Ego. Huh. Okay. What do they take? If they take Plane-Wide Celebration, we're going to have to win with Crosses, which might be tricky. Alright. That's unfortunate. At least we get a couple of new cards. Probably lands. Yeah, it's going to make it harder to win. We untap. Still no land. Well, take up to Fairy.
I've got time.
Risen Reef. Trigger. Still not a land. Pass the turn. Good God. Why are we making this so hard? Opponent. Castle. Well, we're going to have to do it the hard way. We are not living happily ever after, that's for sure. We mostly just need to hit lands at some point. Doom foretold. Yeah, we're actually pretty fine with that. We can sack happily ever after now. Opponent passes. So we will sack happily ever after. Take up to Fairy.
Here goes nothing.
Risen Reef. We gotta hit lands eventually. We got to. Alright, there's a land finally. And happily ever after. Hollowed Fountain untapped. Go to combat. Get in with Risen Reef. Hit our opponent. And pass the turn. We will discard a happily ever after. Doom foretold. Triggers. Opponent sacks. Draws a card. Can we piece this together without our happily ever afters? Ashiok gets countered. Opponent passes. Alright, so we'll sack a Risen Reef, unfortunately. Play the castle. Take up to Fairy.
Here we go.
Go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. Play... Man, this Tameo is going to be insane, isn't it? Play Tameo.
I would like to ask
Tameo gets back Dovin's veto. And now Doom Foretold does nothing. It cannot make a sack. So it will get rid of the... I guess it will get rid of the Doom Foretold because we can't sack. Opponent sacks. Draws a card. And scoops it up! Scoops it up! Take away our combo pieces! We don't care! Tameo comes down and, as foretold, might actually be a deck. It might be a deck. Ooh, undefeated champions of Silver Tier. Score 1 for, as foretold, or many actually, as foretold. Happily ever after. Sweet, 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 sweet. All right, against the odds time, we are playing Bantily Ever After. Trying to get the Happily Ever After win in Standard, and this sounds fine. We got some ramp. We got a Happily Ever After. Crosses can draw us cards. Gonna need to get to our Watery Grave. All right, something controlling probably. Let's grab a Forest. We're missing green mana. Untap. Ooh, Risen Reef is nice. Well, run out Leafkin Druid. Pass the turn. All right, blue-black control. Legion's End. Yeah, whatever. Well, Hollowed Fountain, Risen Reef. Yeah, land is fine. We do not mind hitting a land. Blast Zone. Ooh, Flibblethip sleeves. I didn't think those would come out yet. Tyrant Scorn. Opponent just keeps killing our stuff. Let's Temple Garden and make a 4/4. Next turn we can cross this and draw 2 at least, hopefully. Ogre. Whiff, whiff, whiff. Whoa, no whiff. How unlucky. Well, play a land. Crosses. X4. Well, this is not our main plan, but I mean, I guess just beating down with 4/4s could go a long way if our opponent's missing land drops. Opponent 16. And? Thought erasure. I assume, wow, it takes happily ever after. Interesting. We're pretty fine with that, because this means if we draw land, we can plain white celebration and really go to town. Opponent gets in. Does not get in. Yeah, that would be an ambitious attack. Not a land. Well, go to combat. All attack. Hit our opponent. Paradise Druid. Pass the turn. We don't want to go too deep because they could definitely have Ritual of Soot here. Opponent passes. Well, alright. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Make our opponent do something. Up next list is Cruelty. Well, that's fine because now we get to hit our opponent to 4. Plain white celebration. Let's look at our graveyard real quick. 1, 2... okay. So we go Citizen, Life, Permanent. Get back Risen Reef, Happily Ever After. Pass the turn. Opponent, land, down to 2. And there's the Ritual. So, okay, that's fine. So we will play Risen Reef. Get a trigger. We will play Teferi.
I know.
Take up Teferi. Temple Garden tapped. Pass the turn. We still need our 5-color creature, so we are going to have to hit... Opponent has Augur Bolus, so we are going to have to hit a plain white celebration again. Opponent. All right, there's the Augur Bolus we know and love. All right, Eldritch Spell takes down Teferi. Play Leaf Kindred. Risen Reef trigger. Ooh, I like that. Risen Reef, trigger. Yeah, take the land. Temple Garden untapped. Happily Ever After. No attacks. Opponent. Swamp. We don't have the 5 colors of creatures, so Happily Ever After does not win yet. And we also put our opponent up from 2 to 7. Okay. Kills a Risen Reef, mills us. That's fine. Because now we get to Tameo. Ooh, and Glass Casket. So play Castle, play Tameo. Oh, we can actually do it right now? Okay, that's even better. Fabled Passage, take a forest. Tameo. Get back plain white celebration.
The storied
Cast
past holds
it.
our future.
Citizen, permanent. Get back Tameo, get back Risen Reef. No attacks. And we are again presenting lethal with Happily Ever After. Opponent's got to deal with both Citizens or the Happily Ever After. Narsa, okay.
The past
Takes
present,
down.
an open mind.
And I think we might just have him. Happily Ever After kind of actually feels legit. Like, surprisingly. We have the conditions, right? Yeah, we got the conditions. Elder Spell. And that should be game. That's game. Opponent passes. And we live happily ever after. Yup. And this deck is, like, oddly effective. Now we get to bring in Veil of Summers, Dovin's Vetoes, and maybe Mass Manipulations. Go down Glass Caskets. Go down Warrants. And what else? We gotta cut one more of something. I don't know what that something is, though. Let's go one Crosses. That's a little greedy, but in a world of Narset, Crosses gets a little less effective. Maybe this deck is just actually good. Every once in a while that happens, and against odds deck is just actually legit, and we've been winning very consistently with Happily Ever After. Like, people have a hard time interacting with the kill. Oh. It would be hilarious if Happily Ever After was just a real deck. It's much easier to turn on than you think. Like, if you build your deck around it even a tiny bit, getting 6 permanents, we don't even think about it really. We just play the game, and by the time we're ready to win, it happens. It's happened every time so far. We haven't had a time yet where we've missed on the 6 permanent thing. So that's been nice. And then the life gain also just kind of happens naturally in our deck. And then the only hard part is the citizen token, and that's not that hard with Teferi to cast an instant speed to protect it. Yeah, alright. Sure, Teferi's good. Well, Breeding Pool, tapped. Tap land for our opponent. Well, Temple Garden and Paradise Druid. We would like to get down the Teferi. Swamp for our opponent, Narset.
I train and meditate and prepare.
Thought Erasure. Ooh. And Veil of Summer. Well, play Castle Ardenvale, play Teferi.
I am not going to
Dig up Teferi.
Trust me, I have a plan.
We're gonna let our opponent get one more Narset activation and Veil of Summer to fizzle this Thought
Just the
Erasure.
trick for this.
Noxious Grasp. Some for our opponent. Well, alright, that works. Veil of Summer. Protect Teferi, draw a card. Oh. Hallowed Fountain, untapped. Risen Reef. Get a trigger. Leafkin Druid. Get another trigger. Take up Teferi. Opponent can take our plane-wide celebration, but Swamp for our opponent. We would like to kill the Narset eventually, but it's hard to pass up Risen Reef triggers. Wow, another Narset.
Mind and body should move. Hone your prowess.
Opponent taken down. Alright, Elder Spell can deal with our Teferi temporarily. One? Wow, this turn might be sweet, though.
My worst.
Alright, opponent kills Teferi. Oh my god. I'll play Risen Reef. Get some triggers. Play Leafkin Druid. Get some triggers. Play Happily Ever After. Oh yeah, that's unfortunate. Maybe we shouldn't have played that. We just let our opponent draw. Hit Narset, down to 2. Pass the turn. This does potentially set us up for the plane-wide celebration window. Opponent catches a Narset.
Thoughtfulness before action.
Looking for a way to deal with our big board. Gets a Tyrant Scorn. That can deal with a creature. Land. What's our opponent got? We're hoping for, like, actually, Ritual of Set Thought Erasure would be fine. Another Narset.
My prowess is on keep an open
Takes down.
mind.
Gets an Ugin for the future. And Thought Erasure? Yeah, we don't win yet because we don't have 5 colors of creature. And we're actually short a permanent type at the moment, but we will have sorcery once we plane-wide celebration. Alright, kills Paradise Druid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plane-wide celebration. Citizen, permanent. Get back to Fairy, Paradise Druid. Play to Fairy.
I'm known
Take
for
up
my
to Fairy.
excellent timing. No,
Play
I am not
Paradise
making this up as I go.
Hit Narset.
Fury
Our
will
opponent,
only
so our
lead
opponent
you
can
astray.
Ugin to kill Happily Ever After to buy 1 more turn. And it looks like that's the plan, but then we get to mass manipulation both Planeswalkers, which is just absurd.
Interloper.
Opponent plays a land, passes. Yeah, I mean, we're going for it. Mass manipulation X2. You, sideboard cards coming through, auto pay. Temple Garden, untapped. Happily Ever After. And that's the GG's. That's the GG's. Ugin, make a door.
The fabric.
Take up to Fairy.
Here goes nothing.
Do some attacking. And maybe this deck is just actually good. Opponent needs a sweeper. Needs a sweeper. And we got their planeswalkers. Opponent plays a land. And even if they have a sweeper, we got Plain-White Celebration. All right, gets rid of the citizens for the time being. I guess they can Thought Erasure to get rid of Plain-White Celebration. Plays Kefnet. Okay. And there's a Thought Erasure. People don't know how to play against this deck yet, I don't think. So to Fairy, bounce you.
Don't worry, I got this.
Ugin, tick up.
Truth lies beyond vision.
Happily Ever After. Play a Forest. Plain-White Celebration. Do we want a Plain-White Celebration? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plain-White Celebration. Proliferate, proliferate, citizen, citizen. And then this lets us Narset
Meditate
for
and prepare.
Dovin's Veto. Go to combat, attack. And I would assume with Dovin's Veto, this probably seals the deal. Get in, hit our opponent. Conditions are definitely met now, and we have a counter if our opponent actually has a way to try to interact. Thought Erasure. Well, alright. We gotta counter that. Well, if our opponent has a sweeper, then they do survive the Happily Ever After kill. Legion's End again gets rid of our citizens. Alright, opponent's not making it easy. And Kefnet returns. Well, to Fairy, bounce Kefnet.
That's more like it.
New to Fairy. Keep new to
show
Fairy.
remorse.
Now
I'll
we can
show
do it at
respect.
instant speed, which hopefully
Here
will
we
seal
go.
it. Take up Ugin.
Ether.
Go to combat. Attack, 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 attack. Hit our opponent. Play Breeding Pool. Pass the turn. And that should actually do it. Now we have the instant speed Plain-White Celebration. On our opponent's end step, Kefnet sure. Blast Zone, also sure. Opponent passes. Alright, Plain-White Celebration. Citizen, citizen, life, life. And that should do it. Up to a high life total. Creatures of all colors. Conditions have met. This time it really is a good game, and we keep living happily ever after. Opponent scoops it up. All right, deck's working. Deck is working. Sweet, sweet. So what do we learn this week about happily ever after? And it was a good one. 5 up, 5 down, perfect 5-0 across our 5 matches. There was one match in the beginning of the recording, or towards the middle. I played blue-black control 3 times in a row. The third one, I just scooped in game 1, so I guess that's kind of a loss, even though we didn't play the game, because I don't want to post 3 blue-black control matchups. But anyway, 5-0 in our 5 matches, and the deck felt surprisingly effective. We beat blue-black control twice. We beat Esper Stacks, the new hotness. We beat Abs and Midrange. We beat Jeskai Super Friends. We took on all comers, and more exciting, I think all except one of our wins was a happily ever after win. Like, that was how we won our games, and the combo was really effective. The deck was really effective. The plan worked incredibly well, and it might be the happily ever after is at least semi-legit in the standard format. Just like being able to ramp into Plain-White Celebration, cast it on our opponent's end step, trigger happily ever after, that beats so many people. Teferi offers protection. The loop with Tamiyo is insane. All around, it just felt really, really good. I don't even know what to say. Like, this might actually be a somewhat legit deck in the standard format. It was very amazing how easy it is to get the conditions. Like, honestly, in our first games with Happily Ever After, I was kind of like nervously checking when we were getting close to winning, like, how many card types do we have? Do we have the right pieces? Do we have enough life? But then by the late game, by the end of our matches, you just assume it's going to work, and it did. Like, hitting 6 card types, you don't even got to think about it. Like, it's not even something that needs to enter your mind. By the time you get to the point where you can have a citizen token from Plain-Wide Celebration and enough life to win, you're going to have the 6 card types. Like, it just happens naturally. The citizen token, great way to be able to get the 5-color permanent on the battlefield. Being instant speed, super huge. That's one of the reasons it's so much better than Niv with this deck. Niv, you play it, then your opponent can kill it. Plain-Wide Celebration with Teferi instant speed, that is the hardest lock with Happily Ever After and just not possible for our opponent to interact with. And then the life total, while that can be one of the sketchier ones, especially when we take damage in the early game, sometimes we get down pretty low in life. Happily Ever After helps, but Plain-Wide Celebration solves it there too. And I was just amazed how we can play a normal game of Magic, play a Happily Ever After sometime in the early game, and then Plain-Wide Celebration is usually enough to win the game. Just usually, depending on the situation, either we gain like 12 life, make 1 token, or we gain 8 life, make 2 tokens. It is very powerful. The loop with Tameo is really neat. We didn't get to do it super often, but in the late game, being able to just like plain wide into Tameo, into plain wide into Tameo, making tokens, gaining life can be pretty unbeatable. I just love this deck, and I think Happily Ever After might actually be a real deck in Standard, so that's been our first Against the Odds from Throne of Eldraine. Happily Ever After for Throne of Eldraine Standard. Hopefully all of our Against the Odds decks this season are as good as this one, because this one was super sweet. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.